So some huge breaking news as Roma have approached Nuno Santo for a manager position at their club. Welcome to this news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome to your latest Forest news. Coming up, I'll give you all the bits and bobs about this breaking news as Roma have approached Nuno, according to reports, for a 2-year deal to join them. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new. If you want to grab me a coffee, you can scan that QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. Shout out to all you guys who are supporting us. Shout out as well to Leo for joining us over on Patreon. There's a Chelsea preview on there with Charlie. If you want to check out that exclusive, go do so as well. All right, where do we start with this news? So this is kind of a bit all over the place. So I'll tell you guys what's been broken, what's happening. Maybe some of you haven't heard it at all. So this news was broken an hour or two ago that Nuno has been approached by, I was going to say Real Madrid, by Roma to take him and his services over there next year. Claudio Ranieri was there. He turned them around. He's put them in a position where they may or may not qualify for Champions League. They've got one game to do that. I think they sit fifth currently. It could overtake Juventus. But yeah, Ranieri was always going to leave, the Tinkerman. So that position is now available. They've been very impressed, obviously, with what Nuno has done. And these reports are now suggesting, and I'll read out some parts for you. Roma have been in touch with Forest manager Nuno Espirito Santo to offer him a 2-year deal. They're saying Santo is on Roma's list of targets to replace Claudio Ranieri. The veteran coach is set to leave Roma at the end of the season and return to retirement after rescuing his former club once again this season. The long list of managers have been linked with the soon available position, and now the Nottingham Forest manager can be added to that. So, is there any truth in this report? Well, it's kind of a bit of a mess because the other people that are reporting on this, and these are sources coming out of Italy, are playing on the fact that Nuno and Marinakis have fallen out after their alleged bust up on the pitch at the end of the Leicester game. And people are trying to kind of play on that. Now, my opinion on that is that bust up was not a bust up. And if it was a bust up, it's Marinakis, man. This is how Marinakis is. So I don't give that part of it any credence. The bit I do give credence to is the fact that teams will be looking at Forest, and I see that as a positive. And let me explain why. If you are playing well, if you are having the season Forest have had, if you're having a manager who has taken a team from 17th into a potential Champions League position, if you have players that are scoring goals, defenders that are defending well, of course they're going to attract attention. I would rather have teams coming and being attracted by our players than teams not even looking at them, because that tells me that we've had a really good season, we've got a really good manager, and we've got really good players. So obviously speculation and links are not going to be with players that are crap or managers that are crap. Hence why you're seeing these links happen. Now, Roma could be a really good fit for Nuno. And Roma are a very good club, very good sized club, etc. And it could actually be true. I haven't been able to verify it, but from what I've seen from the sources that are reporting it, it is coming from good sources. So I do believe there's some truth in it. However, Roma are not going into a Club World Cup or into some weird tournament where they need to attract a manager here and now. My biggest contestment, is that the right word? My biggest annoyance with this is the timing of it. Forest have their biggest game of the season coming up this Sunday. So why do we need to rock the boat now? Why does the boat need to be rocked now, while everyone needs to be focused on Chelsea? That's my biggest issue with all of this. If Nuno wants to leave to join Roma or Real Madrid or El Ittihad or Al Ahly or whatever club he's going to link with, It's his future, it's his decision. At the end of the day, Forest will still be here the day after Nuno walks out, and Forest will be here long after we're, on this planet. So this is football, this happens. Managers' life cycles in the Premier League is on average between 18 and 24 months. So if Nuno wants to go, cool. It's his choice. He will leave with my love and grace and thank you for what you've done. You've been absolutely amazing. But Forest still has to move on. But why this week? Why not wait till Monday next week when we know the fate, when all the footballs have been kicked, when the final whistle has gone and everything else, then start to have this? So I do have an issue with Roma doing this. I am not, though, going to give it any credence about Nuno falling out with Marinakis. This is the narrative that's being pushed by a lot of the reporters, and I don't agree with it. I think what they're trying to do is fuel this fire to say, Nuno's been disrespected by Marinakis, therefore there's this feud. Nuno's been really professional about the way he's approached it, but deep down inside, he's thinking, I need to get out of here because Gary Neville told me that's what I should do. This is a really, really weak narrative to be trying to push right now, because I guarantee you what you saw on the pitch between Nuno and Marinakis happens behind closed doors as well. And I guarantee you, Marinakis has those type of conversations with not just Nuno, but with the other people behind the scenes. This is how he is because he has standards and he demands the best for the club. So I don't think it wouldn't have come to a shock, is my point, to Nuno to have seen Marinakis emotional or angry or whatever it was. But I guess the question is it and was it all about the Taiwo thing? I actually think it was. But as I said after that match, if Marinakis was angry because of the result, he had every right to be as well. So that's what's happening now. Now, there are still links to Nuno going to Saudi. That's still happening as well. There's a lot of speculation about his future. But let's not forget that this time last season, there was reports saying, Nuno's unsettled at Forest. Nuno's thinking about going. I can't even remember what the reports are. There's videos on the channel about it from last year. So we're no strangers to these kind of communications. And you know what? Nuno was still there come August and when the season kicked off. And he took him to a pre-season. On top of that, Forest are going to be going to Portugal or Spain again. Nuno was the one who wanted that last season. The players have said that they want to go to those locations this year because they felt that the pre-season was like one of the main reasons why we kicked off and had such a great season this year. So for Nuno to be planning those pre-season things, I don't think his mind is set anywhere currently than Forest. So the real question is, do I think if these reports are true, and well, one, I do think they are true, but do I think Nuno leaves Forest in the summer? My gut feeling says no. I think Nuno will still be here. But never say never in football. Roma is an attractive proposition, especially if they get Champions League football. Saudi, we know he's been there before. The money is big there. He probably doesn't need that money. But something like Roma could attract Nuno. But my gut feeling still says that he will stay at Forest. Now, bear in mind, Nuno's got 1 year left on his contract. So either way, the position in power in all these conversations is actually going to be Nuno. Because if he stays at Forest, he can demand a real chunky, tasty, healthy new contract under Marinakis. And by the way, we were hearing reports a couple of months ago that talks were underway for him to have those conversations with Forest about extending his contract. But if Nuno decides that he wants to hear out Roma or hear out the Saudis or whatever it might be, he is actually in a very strong position. And you know what? After what he's done this year, he kind of deserves to be in that position. So those are the reports. Get your thoughts in now. Do you think Nuno will stay or go this summer? These are starting to kind of make waves and they are getting stronger. And we have told you about some of the candidates that have been linked with Forest. Valverde over from Club Athletic. We've always known about the Marco Silva links with Marinakis, etc. So there are names that are being chucked around at the moment. But this is the crazy season. We're approaching the opening of the transfer window. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a busy one. So make sure you've got your notifications on because we'll keep you posted the whole summer. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget, if you haven't already, to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new to Forest Fan TV. We will see you on the next video. Who knows? Someone else might be bought or sold in the next half hour, and we'll bring it to you. Come on, you Reds.